So, UFC Azerbaijan, or however the fuck you pronounce it, just just got wrapped up, right? And the card was shit. Let's be honest. The card was dog shit. Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hale, slow ass fight. Khalil dropped him twice in the first round, in the third round, and blah 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 blah. Shitty card. Only a couple good fights on there. We'll go over that card in another video. But right after that, for some reason, we had to go to whatever part in the world to figure out what the hell's going on for a reporter to ask like a semi-good question, right? And they asked this question, and you could tell Dana White was not having it. Like, he was already angry coming into this press conference, and then when this reporter asked the question, he was just like, you know what, I gotta get myself out of this. I'm done. I'm not covering it up anymore. And then, like, I'll just let you hear it for yourself, okay? So let's get into this. Oh wait, you guys can't hear the freaking sound. I'm so dumb. What up? Now you should be able to hear it.
Hello, Dana.
Hi.
Hi. What's up, Dana?
About, like, on the heavyweight front, you recently set a deadline for Jon Jones to face.
Look at him. He's like, the eyes are closed. He's like, I'm gonna have to say this now. There's nothing else I can do. I'm done. I don't have anything else left. He can't get out of this. He's cooked. He's legitimately cooked, and he knows it. He can't get out of this. Like, it's
Tom Aspinall or risk losing the title.
he must be saying this, man. I've been covering for this guy for so long, and then he just like dips on me in the last second.
And with that situation evolving, what criteria are you using to decide uphold legacy by waiting for Jones or prioritize the
No, let's go back.
title?
Let's go back and hear this question, because it's actually a well thought out question. She like was backing him into a corner, and I wish if they were asking questions like this a little bit earlier, even though he would have figured out a way to wiggle out of it, right? But like, just look at the way, like, I mean, he was gonna answer this anyways if John officially retired, but yeah.
Line for Jon Jones, like. On the heavyweight front, you recently set a deadline for Jon Jones to face Tom Aspinall or risk losing the title. And with that situation evolving, what criteria are you using to decide uphold legacy by waiting for Jones or prioritize division activity by clearing the belt?
Okay, good question. You recently set a deadline for Jon Jones to either fight Aspinall or retire. And what criteria are you using to decide whether or not you're going to strip him or you're going to allow him to hold on to the belt and uphold his legacy? Good question.
You said the timeline for Jones.
Don't know why he needed a translator for English, but she spoke English. I understood what she said.
2 weeks to decide what to do with the title, or whether it takes the fight, or you
Dana White understood what she said. He didn't need a translator. He more than understood what she said. He did not need a translator, by the way.
gonna strip him. What do you think is more important, to keep the belt there so he can uphold his legacy, or move the heavyweight division, take the title away from him?
Jon Jones called us last night and retired.
Move the heavyweight
But
division.
look at this. He took a big gulp before answering that question. Look. He literally went. Look, he literally took a gulp.
To keep the belt there so he can uphold his legacy, or we move the heavyweight division, take the title away from him.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Thank you very much.
Look, he's like, she said thank you. He didn't even acknowledge. He's mad. He was hoping that by some miracle he could have made it through this press conference without getting asked a single Jon Jones question. Realistically. Let's be honest, that's not going to happen. Let's hear what the rest of the questions are.
Cancelled out my question, but anyway, I don't know if you heard about this, but seems like Francis wants to come back, and he says he changed his mind.
Which, here, listen to this part now, because Dana is not saying no outright. He normally, when Dana White means no, he just says no. He wouldn't be beating around the bush or anything, right? But listen to this answer that he's giving for the Francis question.
Would you be open for him to come back if he really wants to, and then if he says okay to your conditions?
Francis says he changed his mind and he would consider coming back to the UFC. Would you be
Why does he need English translators? I must ask, because it's not like, I get it if the person's speaking really, really bad English or just speaking a completely different language, but you understand, bro.
open to
If
having
what?
Francis
He
back?
would consider coming back to UFC if what? One thing I've learned over the years about Francis,
He's just like, he's letting off some steam now because he's angry, so he's just picking on someone. And Francis is the next question.
doesn't always mean what he says publicly. What he says behind the scenes are different than what he says publicly. I'm not a big fan. I would be shocked if Francis ever came back here on lots of different levels. I'm not a fan, and he doesn't always mean what he says publicly.
Yeah, with Tom Aspinall being an officially champ, who is the #1 contender right now? Whether it's Volkov?
Who's the #1 contender? Let's really hear this, and let's see what Jon has to say about anything else. If he's just gonna ride off into the sunset, or if he's gonna have anything to say.
National Fight Week starts Monday in Las Vegas, and Tom will be in Vegas all week with us, so we'll get together with.
He always uses that technique to dodge questions. By the way, he's like, "Oh, Tuesday I'll answer the questions. Tuesdays when we do our match, or whatever the day is, that we do our matchmaking. Oh, that person's gonna be there in that time, and that's when we get the answer for that, and blah blah blah." It's a technique he uses, and sadly it works very well because people don't catch on and press into it a little bit like any harder.
With him and figure out what's next.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's really it. I mean, let's see where we go from here. It sucks because Jon's my favorite fighter, and we're not gonna get to see him fight anymore. Which for me, that sucks. I guess for you guys, you're like all jumping around and cheering right now. I know it seemed like I was happy that Jon retired, but I'm not. I'd rather him fight Aspinall or just fight someone else. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings right now. I'm tight. I can't lie. I'm fucking angry that whatever, man. Fuck this shit. At least I got to watch Jamal Hill. At least he didn't get knocked out, but at least I got to watch him realize that, oh shit, the levels have passed me by, you know? So at least that was good. See ya. Peace.